Hey guys, Sin here, bringing you a Ghost Recon Wildlands video. I really have been looking forward to making a video about this game, but I haven't really had any content or information that other people haven't posted yet. I really hope that this covers a lot of the bases. It'll cover some things that you've already heard, but I've got some stuff wiggled in here that you haven't heard yet. Pretty sure, maybe you have, but I'm pretty sure you haven't heard it. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. I'll just start with customization because I'm going to do a little small thing about it because most people have seen the customization videos as far as your character goes and your weapon. I'm just going to be talking about character at the moment. There are tons of customizable options, as everybody knows. You can customize your gender, your character's looks, you know, your apparel. Once you lock in your gender and once you lock in your face and you make your character, that's it. You can't ever change those again. I know most of you know that, but I know not absolutely everybody knows that. So I just kind of wanted to wiggle that one in there at the very beginning. Now, with that being said, you can change their facial hair and stuff like that. Female characters cannot have facial hair, so sorry for everybody who wanted to have, you know, boobs and a beard, but you can't have facial hair if you're a woman. Every article of clothing has got roughly between 9 and 22 different things you can choose from. Now, the gloves and the boots, if I remember correctly, have got like 5. Maybe your bag does too. Maybe it's got like 5 of them, or hopefully we'll be getting more. But my point is I'm bringing to this is there are a ton of customization options once you select it. You can select the color, camo pattern, and there are all different kinds. So I suggest taking the time and looking through it once the beta does drop, or once the game actually does drop too, for people who aren't lucky enough to be getting into beta. The next thing I want to go into are just different details of stuff that I like about the game. For instance, you can turn on and off the car radio and the car headlights. If you have AI in your car, you can hit up on the D-pad and they will go into an engage mode. So they'll lean out the car windows and they'll engage hostiles. You can also take them out of that exact same mode by, again, hitting up on the D-pad. The AI have a tactical intelligence built into them, I guess. They won't cluster around you. You need to learn squad commands if you are going to be playing solo, because you need to be able to tell them when to move up, hold their fire, rally to you. If you do a sync shot, you have to tell them to hold their fire right after you do that sync shot, or else they'll just continue to fire at targets, which can be bad news if you're trying to do it stealthy. AIs can only revive you once per firefight. But there is a skill in the squad section, and I'll talk more about these skills later. But there's a skill in the squad section that allows you to get picked up an additional time by AI. For you solo players, that might be something you want to pick up if you're going to be running with a lot of AI most of the time. If you are fully killed, the words "killed in action" will appear on your screen, and you will be teleported outside of the area where you were having combat at, whether it be a checkpoint or a main mission. It'll teleport you outside of it, and you will lose all of the guns that you had picked up from enemies. So like if you picked up a sniper rifle and then you died, you wouldn't have that sniper rifle anymore unless it was something you picked up out of a cache, and I'll get more into the caches later. There are 4 different factions. You got the Kingslayers, which are the ghosts. You've got the rebels. You've got the Unidads, which are the militaries, and you have the cartel. Each of those have their own little progression system, and you can influence them one way or another by doing specific missions. HUD customization on the game is legit. You can customize everything you want. You don't want that minimap? Gone. But you want everything else? Cool, leave it there. Just remove the minimap. You don't want the minimap and you don't want to see how much ammo you have per clip? Boom, you can take both of those off, but you can leave the other visual cues. You don't want crosshairs, you don't want your minimap, you don't want anything on the screen, you can turn all of it off. So the only thing you have is your character and when you aim down sight. If you get into a car and you drive away without your AI teammates, they will teleport to you into the vehicle. Say you get in a car that's only got 2 seats, then the remaining ghosts that are left behind once you get out of the car, again, will teleport either to you or in the area around you, like really close to you. That way they can come and help. When you're in water, there is a stealth swimming, so I'm assuming so you just don't make a lot of noise. Guessing it's probably going to be slower. but it's just for more tactical play for those of you who plan to play this game incredibly tactical. I personally plan to turn my HUD completely off and put it on the hardest difficulty. Difficulty is something else I should talk about here. So you got your novice, your recruit, veteran, or elite. No, it's novice, veteran, elite, and ghost. Now ghost is what I'll be playing on. It kills you in roughly 1 to 2 bullets. So again, I'm going to play no HUD, 1 to 2 bullets with my team, not AIs. So hopefully that goes over well. But what I will say is that the AI in this game are smart. The Unidads are outfitted with military grade weapons as well as vehicles. And if you set off the Unidad, they will keep coming after you until either A, you kill all the ones before they can call in support, or B, get out of their line of sight. Or I guess technically C, you die. But the Unidad are a lot more organized, and they will flank you and they will hold cover, and they are a lot more accurate with their shots, while the cartel, while they will still take cover and things like that, they're more outfitted with SMGs and AKs, so their aim is not as good. Not saying it's bad, but it's just not as good. And the last thing I'll touch on is killing civilians can end your game. If you kill too many of them, it can end your game, from what I've seen. Now, I don't know if that means like if I just go Grand Theft Auto and just get in a car and just start running over like 20 civilians, if like I'm going to restart before I started killing civilians, or what that exactly entails. Something I did want to talk about are the skills in the game. Now, I know a lot of you have seen that video that the dev played with his AIs, and you can see the weapon, the drone, the item, and the physical trees because he goes over them briefly. He doesn't read anything off, but he goes over them briefly. Well, I wanted to get more into that. And I've also got information regarding squad and regarding the rebels. So stay tuned for that. Now, first off, weapons. Stable fire, hip fire spread, grenade launcher, ammo capacity, VHC destruction, advanced suppressor, time to kill, ammo retention, and then the last skill is the elite skill, and it's called ranged elite. Now, in order to unlock ranged elite, in order to unlock any of the elite skills, you have to put at least 1 skill point in each skill. So you need to have 1 point in stable, hip fire, grenade launcher, ammo, VHC, advanced suppressor, blah, blah, blah. You need to have at least 1 point in each of those in order to unlock the ranged elite skill. Now, moving on to the drone, you got your battery, your night vision, cooldown, speed, range, stealth, mark area, noisemaker, which you unlock noisemaker drone at level 7, if I remember correctly. Then there's zoom, so you can zoom in with your drone. Then there's the explosive and the EMP drones. You don't unlock those until level 15. Then there's armor, thermal vision, and then the last one is medic. I'm assuming that the medic allows you to revive people with your drone. And that can become pretty important because, like I stated before, the AI can down you, and then once you're down, the AI can actually kill you once you're down. So if you aren't able to get picked up quick before either A, you bleed out, or the AI kill you, then you have to restart the mission, I think. I don't know how it works for multiplayer. This is just, I was just talking about single player, but all right. Anyway, the next one is item, frag grenade, binocular zoom, mine, diversion grenade, parachute. Now, I want to point out parachute here real fast. I thought that everybody was going to be getting a parachute when we first went in. Apparently not. Make sure you unlock that parachute skill before you try jumping out of a helicopter. Just my little tidbit of advice to you out there. Then you got C4, binocular, recon, thermal vision, flashbang, flare gun, and then the last elite skill, explosion. Moving on to physical, you got stamina, no pain, car shield. I'm assuming car shield allows your vehicle to be more resistant to damage. Then you got quiet running, bullet resistance, detection, explosion resistance, air vehicle shield. Again, I think it's the same thing as car shield. And then faster regen, I'm assuming it's going to have not a hit point based system, obviously, but say you take a shot, I'm assuming the edges of your screen are going to go red. And as you get back to full health, those edges of the screen will go from red to normal. I'm assuming faster regen just obviously makes that go by quicker. All right, now here's squad. This is one of the ones that you weren't able to see when you clicked on it. So you got your revive speed, which it increases the amount of time it takes to revive, or decreases the amount of time it takes to revive somebody. If it would increase it, that would suck. Useless skill at that point. But no, it decreases. I think the time to revive somebody is about 5 seconds once you get over to them. And squad is more based around AI gameplay than actual player gameplay. Not saying all of these are beneficial only to the AI. I'm saying that a lot of them have AI specific qualities, as you'll see. Like for instance, you get squad resilience, and that increases the AI's damage resistance on your AI ghosts. Then you got train rebels. Freed rebels damage is increased. You have sync shot, and it adds an extra drone target to your sync shot. When you first get sync shot on your drone, it only gives you one target. You can only sync shot one target with your AI, so you got to make sure you pay attention to that. And again, after you actually initiate the fire on that sync shot, make sure you tell your group to hold, or also push forward and start shooting at other players or other AI. Bleed out time, I'm assuming that one's pretty self-explanatory. I'm assuming it's going to increase the amount of time it takes for you to bleed to death, so either your friend or an AI can get over to you to pick you up. And then Born Leader increases the AI's damage. Now the epic skill for squad allows the AI to pick you up one additional time per firefight. So instead of only being able to be picked up once, you'll be able to be picked up twice. I suggest picking this up if you're going to be playing a lot by yourself. All right, let's move to the next one, Rebel Support. So Rebel Support is divided up, as you'll see in the call menu, the call sign menu. If you look down at the bottom in green, those are the different Rebel Support. You got Vehicle Drop, Guns for Hire, Mortar Strike, Diversion, and Spotting. And each one of those has 3 different levels to it. So for instance, Vehicle Drop, level 1 drops you an SUV. Level 2 drops an armored car, and level 3 drops a helicopter. Guns for Hire, level 1 gives you a small rebel group to send to attack. Level 2 gives you a larger rebel group, and level 3 gives you the largest. I'm pretty sure you can see where it's going to go for the rest of these. Mortar Strike gives you a single strike at level 1. Level 2 gives you a multi-strike. Level 3 gives you multiple strikes across a larger area. Then you have Diversion. Level 1 gives you a small flanking group. Level 2 sends you a larger flanking group. Level 3 sends you the largest flanking group you can get. Spotting. Now, I'm assuming what spotting is that it lights up all the enemies in a specific area. On this one, depending on your level, will depend on the size of the spotting range. So level 1's a small spotting range, level 2 is a large, level 3 is the largest. Like I said, I'm pretty sure you guys could see where those are all going. So that is the 2 skills with squad and rebel support that we weren't able to get much info on, that I was able to dig up. And all of this, like I've said before, it's subject to change. I mean, we won't know anything until beta gets released. This is just off of stuff I have found that I haven't seen anybody else really reporting on with those last 2. Now, some things I don't like. Now, when you gather intel, whether that be from a map, some papers you find, a laptop, or a person you interrogate, when you gain intel, you get to select what it is you want, as you guys see in the video. You guys will be able to select whatever it is you want from a choice of 3. Well, those choices of 3 will change. Now, if you select the one that lets you see where the weapons caches are, the weapon boxes, as well as the weapon modification boxes are, that's great, because then you're able to go to them and get them. Now, what I don't like is that if you hover over it, it tells you what's in the box. So there's no mystery there. There's no surprise. There's no like having to go out and find all these different ones. So maybe that's actually a good thing. Obviously, it's intelligent, so it's going to tell you what is in those boxes. But I was kind of hoping for a surprise whenever I opened them up. But I also see how in a game where you're going to be tactically playing with your friends, it would be much more beneficial to know for a fact that you're going for a sniper to give to your buddy who's a sniper, instead of going to a box that's got an LMG in it and nobody in your group likes LMGs. With that being said, I don't know if everybody in your group will get the weapon when you get to it, or if just the person who opens it gets it. We'll just have to wait and see there. Some things I don't like, even further, the ghillie suit that has the strands on it, the physics are really fucking buggy. They move unrealistically, and they, personally for me, it's not going to be a deal breaker for me, but I really hope that it gets fixed, because I like those types of ghillie suits in games and I like to put them on my characters. But if it's just going to be moving around all unnatural, like, I'm probably going to not use it and opt for the leaf one instead, which I don't like as much. Like I said before, the render distance is amazing. Well, the graphics are amazing, and the render distance is so far. You can see, if you're standing on the side of one mountain, you can see trees on the other mountain. But problem with that is it's causing a lot of graphical popping. If you watch any of the clips out right now, you can see a lot of stuff pop into render focus, as well as you can see like trees and bushes and stuff like that that just appear out of nowhere. Now, that again, not a game breaker for me. I hope that that's something they try to figure out how to fix, but it's not really going to be problematic for me. Now, the last thing I'll say that I don't like is the driving looks like more Grand Theft Auto style driving. I've seen a clip where a guy drives an SUV straight up a cliff. So he just drives it straight up, well, not a cliff, I guess. He drives it straight up a mountain, not on the roads. He's driving through the trees and the woods and the rocks and shit like that. And while an actual SUV would be able to do this, not at the speed he's doing it at. It is just going up way too fast. Now, once he gets to the top, he takes the same thing, turns it around, drives it off the cliff, and goes straight down. He bounces off trees, he bounces off rocks, and it's not, and there's nobody in the car gets injured, and it's not, I mean, obviously it's not realistic. You're just able to full speed it down. The car doesn't explode. It takes damage, of course, and you can flip and roll it, but it does not actually have an impact on the car itself, which I think it really does. Now, I also saw them take a car and try to do the same thing. It was able to go up the mountain, but it was at a much slower rate. So I hope that's something that gets addressed, but I don't think so because of how close we are to it being released. So it might just be something we have to deal with, and it'll just be on us players to drive more realistically than what we're actually able to do in the game. There was something I wanted to touch on really quick before I go here. I almost forgot to mention there is bullet penetration on specific items. You can see clips if you search hard enough, or if you know the right people. You can see clips where people are shooting, like, say, sniper rifles through the roofs of Jeeps and killing the AI driving them, you know, where they're shooting through fences, through, you know, wood platforms. So we'll have to just be able to test. We'll just have to test and see what we can shoot through. Last thing I wanted to touch on is the beta codes go out February 1st. If you guys do get a beta code, you should be getting 3 additional beta codes as well to send out to other people. I personally went and bought a collector's edition, so I will be getting into the beta. If you guys want to see that, be sure to go to twitch.tv/SynXstyle, link down below, and come and join me, and we'll talk about the game, what my thoughts on it, likes, dislikes, and stuff like that. The beta drops February 3rd, and I hope to see all of you in Bolivia.